Hi everyone, I'm Steve.
And I'm Cynthia.
And we're the College Support Network. We have both worked in high schools as college advisors, and we also have experiences working in financial aid, admissions, and as academic advisors in college campuses.
We're both very passionate about college access and understand that applying to college can be really confusing. That's why we're here to help by providing you quality information and resources to empower you to achieve your college goals.
In today's video, we're going to be talking about everything you need to know about the California State University System, or the CSUs. Some things we'll talk about specifically are an overview of the CSU system, freshman and transfer admissions, and cost and financial aid.
Let's get started.
The California State University, or the CSU system, is one of the three college systems in California. The CSU system is the United States' largest public four-year university system, and it constantly tops the list of the most affordable college systems in the world. They are also often noted as being one of the most diverse college university systems in the country because they strive to include students of all social, economic, and educational backgrounds. In total, there are over 480,000 students across 23 CSU campuses. The 23 CSU campuses are CSU, just kidding, I'm not going to list them all, but I'll put a list of the CSUs here, and then you could pause it and take a look whenever you feel like. Similar to the UCs, we have CSU campuses spread all across California. You'll find schools all the way in NorCal, and then you'll also find schools all the way in SoCal. San Jose State was the first CSU campus and was founded in 1857. On the opposite end, CSU Channel Islands is the most recent CSU campus, and it was founded in 2002. What's pretty interesting though is San Jose State was founded in 1857, but the CSU system wasn't formally recognized or established until 1960 under the California Master Plan, and it actually wasn't given its CSU name until 1972. Under the California Master Plan, the CSU system was given the primary function of educating graduate and undergraduate students via instruction, not research. However, after many decades, there are a lot of students today at CSU campuses that still conduct research. Also, under the California Master Plan, the top 1/3 of California students were eligible to go to a CSU campus. Because such a large number of students were expected to go to a CSU, much of the system's academic offerings, courses, and degree programs were actually centered around practical learning and non-research career options. Overall, the CSUs grant bachelor's, master's, professional, and doctoral degrees. An overwhelming amount of students are undergraduate. So it's no surprise that the CSU system is the largest producer of bachelor's degree in all of the United States. In May of 2010, the CSU conducted research and found that more than 1/2 of students that graduated with a bachelor's degree in California went to a California State University, and 1/3 of master's degrees awarded in California were actually from a CSU campus as well. Before going over the freshman and transfer admissions process, I wanted to just briefly go over some pandemic news just because we're filming this in the middle of summer of 2020. So some of this is going to be very important for those of you applying for fall of 2021. With that being said, here are some of the temporary changes and updates that the CSUs have made regarding the pandemic. For students applying for admission in fall of 2021, the CSUs have actually suspended the ACT and SAT. Neither of the scores will be used to determine who gets admitted into a CSU campus. And for applicants that have already taken an SAT or ACT exam, the CSU still won't use your exams to evaluate you for admission. However, they've actually noted that they will be using the scores in some aspect. So far, they've noted that they will be using it as a measure to determine placement for some entry-level courses. I really want to reiterate that this is a temporary change just for fall 2021 applicants, and so far they haven't really put down that this is going to be a permanent policy moving forward. However, the CSU did also say that if the pandemic continues or lasts longer than they expect, they will be reviewing admissions criteria for future applicants as well. In addition, the CSU system has also declared that they will be temporarily suspending letter grades for A to G courses taken in the spring, winter, and summer of 2020 sessions. Specifically, they will be allowing students to take credit or no credit, also known as pass or no passes, for their A to G courses and still have it count towards admissions requirements. It's important to note that the courses that you take as pass and no pass, or credit or no credit, won't have any effect on your GPA. We'll be leaving a link below in the description directly to the CSU website with news and updates about how they plan on responding to the pandemic. We really advise students to have this page bookmarked just because we expect a lot of updates to be happening over the next couple of months. So let's talk about freshman admissions. For California residents, there are 3 factors that lead to eligibility. The first factor is the completion of A to G courses. Students need to complete all A-G coursework with a grade of C or better. The CSU A-G requirements are as follows. Area A is History and Social Science and requires 2 years. Area B is English and requires 4 years. Area C is Math and requires 3 years. Area D is a Laboratory Science and requires 2 years. Category E is a language other than English and requires 2 years. F is Visual and Performing Arts, which requires 1 year. And G is a college preparatory elective and requires 1 full year. Overall, there are a total of 15 A-G requirements for the CSU system, and students are required to complete them all by the time they start as a freshman. For students that are interested in applying to both the UC and Cal States, please know that there is a difference between the A-G requirements for the UCs and the CSUs. Typically, the UC requirements are a little bit more strict. However, we'll be leaving a link below for you to take a look if you're interested. For students that have failed an A-G class in the past, don't worry too much because the CSUs actually let you make up the work if needed. Some ways to make up the course include retaking the actual course itself, going to adult school, completing it at a college or university, or via examinations such as the SAT subject test, AP test, or IB test. Just like we mentioned in the UC video, the A-G courses mentioned today are just the minimum that students need to be eligible for campuses. We usually recommend students to go above and beyond when they can, just to make your application stand out a little bit more. The next factor is the actual grades you get in your A-G courses as well as test scores. The Cal States do not take into account your extracurricular activities, nor do they require an essay. Some specific majors or specialized programs will, but the majority do not. Therefore, the grades that you receive in high school and the GPA that you obtain are the most important factors that the CSUs look at. Your grade point average, or GPA, is a calculation of all your A-G courses that you took after 9th grade. Similar to the UCs, an A is worth 4 points, a B is worth 3 points, and a C is worth 2. Honors and AP courses are assigned an extra point up to 8 semesters. Therefore, an A would be worth 5, a B would be worth 4, and then a C would be worth 3. For grades and examinations, the CSUs use a eligibility index to determine your eligibility for a CSU campus. The calculation uses your grade point average as well as your SAT or ACT score to determine if you've met the minimum eligibility for a CSU campus. It is important to note that this CSU eligibility index does not actually give you admission. It's simply used as a marker to determine if you meet the minimum eligibility to even apply to a CSU campus. The CSUs actually have a really nice tool on their website called the Eligibility Index Calculator, where students could put in their stats and see if they've met the minimum eligibility. We'll leave a link below if you're interested in seeing your eligibility index score. And the last factor is graduation from high school. For admission into a Cal State campus, graduation from a high school and receipt of a high school diploma are necessary requirements for admission. Students who are unable to graduate from a high school have different options, however. They include General Education Development Program, or GED, High School Equivalency, or HiSET, or Test Assessing Secondary Completion Exams, also known as TASC. It's important to note, for students that are taking any of these other routes, you're still required to complete the A-G courses mentioned before. So let's talk about impaction. What does that mean? Impaction refers to when the number of applications for a school or specific program is greater than the number of seats that are available. Like I just mentioned, this can occur at the campus level or specific major level. There are 7 campuses across the CSU system that are impacted at the campus level. They include San Luis Obispo, Fresno State, Cal State LA, Cal State Fullerton, Cal State Long Beach, San Diego State, and San Jose State. This means that at these campuses, every single major or every single program is impacted. These impacted campuses can use additional criteria for the admissions process. Many campuses have supplemental admission criteria for various majors such as nursing or pre-med. Impacted campuses are also known for establishing local admissions areas for freshmen and also transfer students. This just means that students from outside the local area are held to higher admissions criteria and requirements. Typically, students that attend one of these impacted campuses via the local admissions areas attend one of the feeder high schools in the area. They have a better chance of getting into that CSU campus than a student that may be outside of the area. It is also important to note that due to impaction, because many students attend a CSU where they live locally, many of them are commuter students. This is why the CSUs are often seen as commuter schools. However, students that want on-campus housing or want to live in the dorms, that's definitely an option for some of the CSU campuses. It's important to look at each individual CSU to see what they offer. And for our non-California residents, don't think we forgot about you. The 3 eligibility factors that I mentioned before as freshmen also apply to our non-California students as well. However, the eligibility index for our out-of-state students are a little bit different for in-state students. Typically, the out-of-state students have to have a higher eligibility index to meet the minimum eligibility. Out-of-state residents can also use the eligibility index calculator that I mentioned before. At the bottom of the calculator, there are charts for both non-residents and California residents to see the minimum eligibility index. One thing to note is that for non-residents that are applying to a impacted campus or impacted major, typically the CSUs will give preference to in-state students, regardless of index. Next up is the Educational Opportunity Program, also known as EOP. The EOP program was designed and implemented to increase retention and access to historically low-income, first-generation, and underserved and underrepresented students. They often provide admission, financial aid, and academic support for all students that are in the program. Every single CSU campus has an EOP program and a corresponding office that is meant to assist these students. Students that are interested in this program will apply for it during the admissions process. When I was a college advisor helping students with college access at the high school level, there were a lot of students that always asked me, "Hey, Mr. should I apply for EOP? Hey, Mr. I don't meet the requirements, should I still apply? Hey, Mr. I don't want to write an essay." One thing to know is that this is probably the easiest scholarship and the easiest money you'll ever get as a student. The application for EOP requires very, very short responses that don't take much time at all. The EOP application is embedded in CSU Apply, which is the general CSU application. The application has an autobiographical section and requires students to have 2 recommenders submit information for them. Overall, like I said, it's pretty easy, so I recommend all students to apply for it. We'll be doing a walkthrough of the CSU Apply application in the future, so make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to see that. So with all that information, I'm interested now. What CSU campus are you currently looking at and why?
You know, Steve, that's a great question.
I know.
Now, for those of you who are really interested in the Cal States, you need to know about the California Promise Program. Campuses establish pledge programs for entering first-year California students who are interested in completing their bachelor's degree in 4 years. Freshmen will do a 4-year pledge, whereas transfer students will do a 2-year pledge after having come in with an associate for degree transfer from a California community college. Students who commit to this program will receive priority registration, routine academic advisement, and will need to complete at least 30 semester units every year. Next, I'll be going over transfer admissions. There are 3 ways to transfer. The first is the Associate Degree for Transfer, or ADT, which is an associate degree from a California community college that is fully transferable to the CSU and is no more than 60 semester units or 90 quarter units. With the ADT, otherwise known as a degree with a guarantee, students who meet the minimum CSU eligibility requirements are guaranteed priority admission to a Cal State campus, although not necessarily to a particular major or campus. With an ADT, you'll be able to earn 2 degrees, your associate's and your bachelor's degree, with 120 units if you transfer to a Cal State program that's similar to the one that you did at the community college. Under this program, you will have to complete or be completing an associate degree for transfer at the time that you apply, have completed a minimum of 18 semester units or 27 quarter units, along with an approved set of GE requirements, such as the CSU GE Breath or IGETC. I'll be going over the CSU GE Breath and IGETC requirements a little later in this video for you. You also need to submit your application and any requested documents by the published deadlines. Next is the upper division transfer. You're considered an upper division transfer applicant if you have at least 60 semester units or 90 quarter units completed by the time you transfer to a Cal State. Admissions requirements include a minimum of a 2.0 GPA. However, like Steve mentioned, when it comes to impaction, a 2.0 GPA may not be sufficient to be admitted. You also have to be in good standing with the last college or university that you attended. Lastly, you will need to have completed 10 GE courses, which include 30 semester units or 45 quarter units with a grade of C- or better. Specifically, 4 courses need to be completed in the following: under General Education Breadth, Oral Communication, Written Communications, Critical Thinking, and Mathematics or Quantitative Reasoning. Third, we have lower division transfer. You are considered a lower division transfer applicant if you have completed 59 or fewer transferable semester units or 89 or fewer transferable quarter units. Please note that due to enrollment demands, most CSU campuses restrict or prohibit lower division transfer applicants from admission. Admissions requirements for lower division transfer applicants include having completed the A through G courses while in high school, have graduated from high school or received a GED, meet the eligibility index of a first-time freshman, have earned an overall college GPA of at least 2.0, be in good standing at the last college or university that you had attended, and had completed a GE course in written communication and math with a grade of C- or better. Similar to what Steve mentioned about freshman admissions requirements for non-residents, many campuses also have higher admission standards for non-residents interested in transferring. For non-resident students who are interested in transferring to a Cal State, it's recommended that you complete at least 60 semester units or 90 quarter units. Written communications, critical thinking, speech, and quantitative analysis or mathematics. For you non-resident students, you should contact the Cal State campuses to which you're interested in applying and request that they evaluate your transferable coursework. Some of you may be interested in applying to transfer to both the Cal States and the UCs, so it's important to understand the key differences between the CSU GE Breath and IGETC. CSU GE Breath allows California Community College transfer students to fulfill lower division GE requirements for any Cal State campus prior to transferring. This curriculum provides an alternative to the IGETC requirements and is a good option if you know that you really want to transfer to a Cal State. IGETC, or the Intersegmental General Education Transfer Curriculum, is a series of courses that California Community College transfer students can complete to fulfill lower division GE requirements at both the Cal States and the UCs. IGETC is great if you want to keep your options open at both the Cal States and the UCs. We recommend that you use Assist, which is a great website that allows you to plan your transfer from a California Community College to a UC or Cal State, and we also advise that you talk to your transfer counselor to ensure that you stay on track to fulfill these requirements. Now that we've gone over admissions requirements for both freshmen and transfer students, let's talk about the application itself. Cal State Apply is the name of the application. It becomes available October 1st, and you will have until December 4th, 2020 to submit your application for fall 2021. It costs $70 to apply to each campus. However, fee waivers are available for up to 4 campuses. The fee waiver process is also built into the admissions application. After you apply, if you are a first-time freshman, upper division transfer, or ADT student who is a California resident for the purpose of tuition but is not accepted to any of the Cal State schools that you applied to, you may be redirected to an alternate Cal State campus. If you've been admitted to at least one Cal State campus, you will not be redirected. Redirection occurs after all Cal State campuses have reported their admissions decisions to Cal State Apply. For fall admission, this happens after April 1st. Eligible students will be notified by email and provided instructions to identify their first and second choice redirection campus options. Please know that each campus may only have certain majors available for a redirection. Finally, we'll be going over the cost and financial aid available at the Cal States. 80% of Cal State students receive some type of financial aid. All Cal State students pay the same system-wide tuition fee and additional mandatory fees set by each campus. Recently, this tuition fee was $5,742 per year for undergraduate students. We'll provide a link in the description box below where you can view the 2020-2021 costs of attendance for all Cal State campuses. As a friendly reminder, you can always visit the financial aid websites for each individual Cal State campus that you're interested in applying to. Non-residents, so students from another state or another country, will have to pay an additional $396 per semester unit or $264 per quarter unit in addition to the $5,742 base tuition and campus fees. It's important to note that how Cal State campuses determine residency for tuition purposes differs from how the state of California determines residency. Now we'll be going over state grants or free money given to California residents by the state of California. First, we have the Cal Grant, which covers tuition and fees. In order to qualify, you must meet the minimum GPA requirements, and your family's income and assets must fall under the established ceilings. To apply for the Cal Grant, you'll need to submit either the FAFSA, the Free Application for Federal Student Aid, or the California Dream Act. Students who are U.S. citizens or eligible non-citizens, such as permanent residents, should file the FAFSA. Undocumented students who meet AB 540 criteria should submit the California Dream Act. In addition to filing the FAFSA or California Dream Act, you'll also need to submit the Cal Grant GPA verification form by March 2nd. We'll be making future videos on both the FAFSA and California Dream Act, so make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll get notified the second those go up. The Middle Class Scholarship covers between 10 to 40% of tuition and fees. You are eligible if your family's income and assets are less than $177,000. The amount of the middle class scholarship will vary from campus to campus and ultimately depends on funding allocated by the state budget. The CSUs also offer their own grants. The state university grant awards amounts at least equal to the state university fee. You are eligible if you are a California resident or AB 540 student who applied for aid by March 2nd. You must also have an EFC of $4,000 or less and not be receiving other awards such as the Cal Grant that is designated specifically for fees. Earlier, Steve also mentioned the Educational Opportunity Program, or EOP. EOP also offers a grant to help their students, so again, we highly encourage that you apply for the program. The CSU Foster Youth Tuition Waiver is available to former and current foster care youth who are enrolled in the Cal State undergraduate program. This waives the system-wide mandatory tuition fee. However, this does not apply to mandatory campus-based fees or other components of the cost of attendance. Please note that this amount may also be reduced depending on other aid you may be receiving. Students who have been in the foster care system for at least 12 consecutive months after the age of 10 must meet any of the following criteria: is under a current foster care placement order from juvenile court, was under a foster care placement order from juvenile court upon reaching 18 years of age, was adopted or entered guardianship from foster care, or be 25 of age or younger on the first day of the academic year. To apply for financial aid, you'll need to submit the FAFSA or the California DREAM Act. Both of these applications are available as early as October 1st and are due by March 2nd for the Cal States. Remember that if you are a California resident, you must also submit the Cal Grant GPA verification form by March 2nd in addition to submitting the FAFSA or California DREAM Act. Your financial aid packages tend to become available in the spring. However, what you can do now is utilize the net price calculator to get an estimated financial aid package. The cost of attendance is also known as the sticker price. The net price is the amount that you'll be paying after your gift aid, so any scholarships or grants have been applied. For example, you may be interested in purchasing a laptop that costs $1,000. That $1,000 represents the sticker price. You may also have gift cards that total $750. The $750 represents gift aid. Your net price would then be $250. We have the $1,000 sticker price minus the $750 gift aid made up of your gift cards to equal the $250 net price. All colleges and universities who receive federal student aid have to provide a net price calculator as required by the federal government. You'll be able to view the net price calculator on all of the financial aid websites for each of these Cal State campuses. The net price calculator will require that you provide information similar to what you report on the FAFSA and California DREAM Act. The calculator will then provide you an estimated financial aid package based on what current students at that institution with similar financial situations to yours are receiving. Please understand that the calculator only provides an estimate. Your official financial aid package will be provided to you by the financial aid office after you've been accepted to the university. However, the calculator is a great tool that you can utilize now to help you anticipate what your net price might be. We hope today's video and our previous one on the UCs has been helpful. And now we want to know, what's the most important thing that you've learned about the UCs and Cal States? If you haven't had a chance to watch our UC video yet, we'll make sure to provide a link in the cards.
Thanks for spending some time with us today. If you learned something new, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button.
And if you want to learn more, make sure you click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified the second we post a new video.